Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Bree and I make bookish content like reading vlogs and other book related videos. So today is going to be a reading vlog. So I want to show you the books I'm hoping to get to this weekend, and then we can talk about weekend plans. So for starters, I'm about, what would this be, 3/4 of the way through this book. I'm on page 400 and there's 613, so I have just over 200 pages left, and that's Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray. This is the second in the Diviners series. I can't remember if I was reading the Diviners in a reading vlog or if I just read it outside of a reading vlog, but I read the Diviners, the first one, this month, and I really, really loved it. It was so good. I do a lot of like packing orders and like matching checks and stuff at work, so I have a lot of time that's just mindless with my hands. So I'm allowed to listen to an audiobook while I'm there, and so I do, and so I listened to this on audiobook, and it was really good. And I just love how the narrator really makes each character come to life, and they all have their own distinct voices. Like, I can always tell who's talking, which there's a lot of times when it's hard for me with audiobooks to distinguish between characters, but like the voices sound so different to each character. And so the audio narrator's name is January Lavoie. Yes, January Lavoie, and she just does such a fantastic job with this. And so this is the second, and I'm almost done. I'm flying through it. They're like paranormal-esque mystery, so it's set in the 1920s in New York, and there's people that are diviners, which they all have different kind of powers, but they're like, someone can touch an object and feel its like past or get memories from a person through their objects, and then another person can heal people, and so there's like some dream walking. So the first one had a mystery that kind of wrapped up, and then this one is another mystery, and you can see that's like all adding up to a larger plot, but they do feel like mysteries at the same time where you can read them kind of stand alone, and I really enjoy that. So I'm hoping to finish this one because I'm just really in love with this series. I'm so happy I picked it up because I loved Libba Bray when I was in high school. I read her Great and Terrible Beauty series, the Gemma Doyle series, and I loved that as well. So it's just so great to have another one be such a fave for me so far. And then I have The Spare Man, which by Mary Robinette Kowal, and this one was like a sci-fi mystery, and I really want to try more sci-fi this year, and I thought a sci-fi mystery could be the way to go. So far I'm on page 65, and there's about 300 and some pages, so I'm hoping to finish this weekend, or at least make some good progress with it. So this is about this woman who, her and her husband are on their honeymoon. They just got married, and they're on this like ship that goes from Earth to Mars, I believe it is, and she is like the heiress to this technology company that like designed a lot of things with space, and so she's famous, and she's like on the ship and no one knows who she is, and like there's a murder and her husband is thought to be the killer, so he's arrested, so now she's trying to get him out of it. And so far it's okay. I like the space stuff and things like that, but the main character, I'm hoping, has more to her. There's just a lot about her being famous and no one knowing who she is and how like novel that is for her. And then there's been scenes where she's like, I don't want to throw my money around, but then like proceeds to use her power to like get what she wants by like intimidating people with her lawyer and stuff to get her husband out of jail. And so I'm just like hoping we get a little more character arc from her. But there's also disability rep in here. She has had an accident. In the accident, she ended up getting like rods and stuff in her back, and she has to walk with a cane. And in this world there's something that you can dial up or down to like decrease your pain levels, or like not decrease how much pain you're in, but it's more like turns off your like neurons that sense that pain. And so she also has Westy, who is her service dog, and so there's like that representation as well. And so I'm interested to read about that because I think we need more disability representation in our books. So this one I'm hoping to get through. And then this one I picked up from the library. Full disclosure, I picked this up thinking it was Patricia Briggs because Elias, he really has said that he likes the Patricia Briggs series, and then I've heard some other people talk about it, and I was intrigued because I just, the way he described it, I just really enjoyed it. So I wanted. Kaladin's got a bird he's playing with up there. Sir, can I finish my clip? Sorry, I'm gonna have to talk through that. Sorry if you, that bird. So I picked this up because I thought it was that series, and I got home and I was reading it, and then I realized that I've heard of this author before, but this isn't the series that people talk about. This is the wrong author. So I don't know if I'm gonna continue with it, but I got to page 68. Last night I was reading, or I was watching Mel from Mel Reads. She's doing a 48-hour readathon, so I was watching her sprints and reading this, and I kind of put it down and I went back to Spare Man because I don't know if I'm clicking with this. It's a paranormal, like urban fantasy mystery. So this woman runs this like inn that is supposed to be like where magical creatures can like stay, and the house gives her like powers and stuff, and or she has powers and stuff, but it's like confined to the house. And then there's something attacking animals and now people in the town, and so she's got to figure it out. And there's a werewolf involved. So far, it just reads a little like a TV show that like is cheesy and like not the best, but you like also can't stop watching it. Like that's kind of where I'm feeling with this book. I don't know. Part of me is like I want to keep reading because I'm like kind of interested, and the other part of me like doesn't really care and feels like everything is a little bit stereotypical and like not that intriguing, but it's only 200 pages. So I'm like, do I just finish? Even though I now know that this isn't what I was trying to pick up. So it's like not really the book's fault. I just picked up the wrong book. So we'll see. I'm going to give it like till tomorrow and see how I feel tomorrow if I want to continue, but I'm definitely going to be reading these. So plans for the weekend include just getting my life together. The house, Noah had the flu, then I kind of got it. I ended up feeling pretty okay, so it didn't hit me very hard, which was really surprising. So it might hit me this weekend. We don't know. So the house is kind of a mess. I feel like my life is kind of a mess. I have a long list of to-do lists, and I just feel like I want to get some of that stuff off my list so I feel a little better. Noah's working this weekend, so it's gonna be me. Well, he's working today. He's not working tomorrow. So it's gonna be me, my books, and getting some things done around the house and just getting my life back together. So that's the plan. So I need to go to Target, and so I want to make my list. Before I go, it's like 9:15 right now, so I think I want to go before it gets too crazy because I don't like going when the stores are crowded.
We find ourselves starting from scratch, brick by brick. No path carved out for us now. The brush is thick. All I'm asking now, don't give up. for richer, for poor. I meant every word that I told you before. All I'm asking now, don't give up. Oh no, don't give up. Don't give up.
My brain is mush. I've been holding these books up for far too long. Oh, now my hair is stuck. I haven't done any reading, but I did get my book all filmed, so that's good. But I just want to check in, say no reading has been happening, but I have been doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. So that's always good, you know. I've been getting my life together, which I was supposed to, so at least one of those things are being checked off. I gotta say, I get in a weird mood after recording, because I recorded for like an hour or more. And, you know, Weird Brie is in full effect right now. I know it may not seem like it, but trust me, in here, there's a lot going on. So I'm going to put these books back, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably should eat lunch. Yeah, I probably should do that. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to lie. I ate lunch, and I really needed that, and I needed just some quiet time. But then I've been on my phone just watching YouTube videos and catching up, but then it turned into just scrolling and not doing anything I wanted to do. And I had this bad habit where I've been wanting to read, but then I just go on my phone and kind of scroll more. So I'm trying to get better about that. And like I said earlier, I've watched the reading sprints Mel from Mel Reads did on her channel, and she has another one starting at 3, which starts in half an hour, but I feel like I need to start now or I'm not going to have the motivation to do it. Maybe that's not plugged in. So I was thinking I was going to try it on this TV to try to see if I can get her other one from yesterday playing and kind of go to where I left off, because I stopped watching last night because Noah wanted to watch the hockey game. So, and I was sleepy because it didn't start till like later. So I was thinking I'll put that on, and then once it hits 3, I'll start her live one. Come here, Muffin. Come here. Come here. He is rubbing on everything, giving everything love. So I'm still watching sprints on Mel's channel, and there's about 18 minutes left of the sprint, but I realized I never really updated at all about the book. I think I told you what it was about, but I haven't given any like real thoughts. So I think that I really like how the different perspectives like all tie together. I think she does that really well, is where everybody has an interconnecting storyline and you can see how they're all coming together, but they don't all know everything. I do think this one is slower in terms of mystery than the other one. It kind of feels like we're building up to something really big, and there's less. The first one has much more like almost sleuthing because they're trying to like solve a murder mystery, and this one is called like a sleeping sickness, and so there's like it's less of murder, so there's not really like an investigation, yet there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. I'm really having a good time. I think that there are some perspectives right now that are more intriguing than others just because of like their storyline is getting a bit more intense, but I really do like every character, and I think Libra Braid just weaves such a good story, so I'm really excited to see how it ends, and I'm sure if it's like the last one, it'll end on a cliffhanger. And I've heard that the third one is really good, but then the fourth one is where it kind of goes off the rails, so I'm kind of interested to see like why everyone seems to not like the fourth one. But yeah, so I don't know how long the sprints are going to be, but I'm going to just try to keep reading because I now only have like 150 pages, a little more than 150 pages left, so I'd really like to finish this today, just because I'm really enjoying it and I think I could do it. So I don't have the book with me because I have a baby on me, so I can't get up and get it at this time, but I finished A Layer of Dreams, the second in the Diviner series last night, and I really enjoyed it. It ended on a cliffhanger, and now I just need to know what happened or is going to happen. I will say I think I like the first one more. There was a little more action. The full mystery didn't really unravel until way later in the book. Like I feel like a lot of things happen later in the book than more of the front half, but I just really enjoy the characters and I enjoy being with the characters, so I wasn't mad about it. And I enjoyed like the new character we got, Ling. She was like just so interesting to follow, and I really liked her chapters. I really am happy I finished that. I haven't read any of the Spare Man today because I've been editing my video that will have already gone out, my book haul, and I didn't realize I had recorded for like an hour and 15 minutes, and so I'm only on 20 minutes out of 45, so I still have a lot to cut down, and it's 1 o'clock. So I finally took a break at 12. I started this at like 9 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and so I've been editing for a while. So I don't know when I'll be able to give you my next update, but I'm hoping to finish this soon so that I can get it up and everything, and then I'll probably read, but I might take a break. So I'll let you know, but I just want to check in and update on that. But I'm really happy that the Diviner series is going so well for me. I really thought I would like this, but I'm just so impressed with it, and I just love it a little bit more than I thought, but I really shouldn't have felt that way because I loved Libra Braid's other series, the Gemma Doyle series, when I was in high school, so I think her writing is really for me. So I don't have that series anymore. I don't know why, but I think I want to go back and get it and reread it because it was a favorite and I want to see how it holds up. And there's some crossover between this series and the other series, and I don't know if it's just what I saw in the second book or if there's more, but I'm really interested, so I want to read them both again. So yeah, that's my update. Hello, it is much later now. It's now Wednesday, and I think I last updated you on Sunday when I was editing my video, and that took a lot of the day, so I haven't been updating, but I think I'm going to soft DNF the Spare Man because I am no further than when I checked in last. I'm still on page 65. It's just not gripping me like I wanted it to, and I don't think I'm ready to like fully give up on it. I just think right now I'm just not very interested in it. And so I'm gonna put it down for now because I've been wanting to read, but every time I want to read, I just don't want to read this. And so that's a sign that I need to give it a break. But I ended up picking up The Monsters We Defy by Leslie Penelope, and oh my gosh, I'm 65 pages in, and I'm already so much more sucked in than I was with The Spearman. I, like, right off the bat, just really connected with this writing style. So this is a historical mystery fantasy. So it's set in 1920s Washington, D.C., and our main character, Clara, she can talk to spirits, and she has some type of curse that we don't really know why it is, but basically if you like make deals with spirits, you get something considered like a trick, which is like to get what you're wanting. So like say you want to save your best friend's life, they would do that, but then you have to then have something. So I guess one person they wanted to like get back together with their boyfriend, and so it was like, okay, he's gonna love you, but you're gonna be like unsatisfied with love throughout the rest of your life. So the person's basically doomed to like never love anyone, and it's like stuff like that. So she has a deal with one of those spirits, and she has some type of trick, but you don't know what it is. And then so it's like a fantasy historical mystery because people are starting to go missing in her town, and this is also set in 1920s in DC too, so they talk a lot about the like black experience in this time, and there's mentions of like Klan riots and like segregation and just a bunch of different topics, and she is in this community and she's helping like families as well get through things using her powers, but it's like kind of a double-edged sword because if she helps them, they get a negative effect from like the tricks and stuff. So it's very interesting, and she can talk to spirits, so she's like talks to her mom's ghost or her grandma's ghost a lot, and I really like that. I really connected just with the story and how it's being told so far, and I just like need to know more. So I started this yesterday, and I decided I was just gonna start a new book. I was gonna put on some like sprints that I wanted to watch, and I just read for like an hour or two, and I got pretty far in this, and I'm so happy I did because I'm really enjoying it. Then yesterday I had also gone and picked up Finlay, Donovan Jumps the Gun by El Casamano because it came out yesterday. I had to have it, and I didn't start this one yesterday because I also got the audiobook for it on Libro. I used like one of my credits to pre-order the audiobook because I really love listening to these. They're just so fun. At my work, part of what I do is like I ship out orders, and I also match checks and stuff on Wednesdays, so I knew it was going to be an audiobook heavy day. So I put it on, and I already made it to 50%, and I'm loving it. I know these are so like they're so ridiculous and over the top, but I think that's what makes them so fun. You just chuckle along, and they get into these ridiculous situations. Like this one is they're having to go somewhere else, so like most of the book they're set like at their house and they have to go around the town, but in this one they're kind of away for a bit, and it's adding some intrigue. And I don't want to say too much because it is the third one, so I don't want to give away spoilers, but I forgot that this was also the book club pick for the Literally Dead book club by Kayla from Books and Lala, and I'm really happy it is. I mean, I would have read it anyway, but also I'm really excited to like see everyone's thoughts on it. Loving it so much, and I love the audiobook, so I probably will continue listening to this at work, and then at some point I'm probably going to read along, but I'm enjoying having this kind of audiobook and then having this as my like physical read. So this was an anticipated release, so I could pick it up, but then while I was there, I convinced Noah to let me my like next book from my read 3, because if I had been including this one, I only needed one more, but then I decided to softy enough this one, and so then basically I need to read these two in order to get my book. And I ended up going with Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. And I don't really know too much about this, but I know it has to do with like these two characters' mom passes away, I believe, and she leaves a recipe to her Caribbean black cake. And it's like about grief and loss and coming back together as a family. And I've been wanting to get in, like I said, to more literary fiction. And I've heard so many people talk about this and have good like things to say about it, and so I really am excited to give this a try. But then I couldn't leave this book behind. And this is where I need to just not go into the bookstore because like truly I can't leave without like books if I'm like I can't decide between them. So no, let me have a credit towards my next 3 books. So I think I need to just like order online my book that I can get so that I'm not going into the store. But I just really wanted Finlay Donovan like that day. So I got Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. No. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And really, BookTube's just like loved this book and I have to know what it's about. And the idea of it being about video games and like friendship and again, literary fiction, trying to find my niche in it. I've heard really good reviews on it, so I picked it up and I'm just excited to see what the hype is about. I've got one bean here and another bean there. Oh, good morning, Pippi. Yeah, good morning. He loves sitting there, but we put a blanket on there because we have a vacuum that comes through, and so I threw it up there, and he's been so upset that his chair's been taken over. Appears he just decided to deal with it. Yeah, so I wanted to update because I finished Finlay Donovan. Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun, and I flew through this. I think this one is shorter than the other ones. It felt a little shorter, but I really loved it. I just feel like this series can do no wrong for me, even like if there's some like plot things that don't make the most sense. Like I said, it's kind of a ridiculous storyline. I just eat it up. Like, it's so good. And this one I really loved. The whole book, they were set at this like camp kind of thing, and it was just so fun, so ridiculous. I love how things developed. I just love Vera and Finlay and the shenanigans they get into. Like with every other one, she leaves like a nugget at the end that just like makes you can't wait for the next one. So like while each one like mystery wraps up in a whole in each book, there's always just like one more thing that's going wrong, and I really enjoyed that about these books. So happy I read this. This was like probably my most... What are you doing? No, thank you. Why don't you come with me? Yeah. Yeah. He's like, what the heck, Mom? Yeah, why don't you come with me? You didn't think I could move that, did ya? Okay, see you later. So I think this was like my most anticipated release of the year, and so far I'm 2 for 2 on anticipated releases being my favorite books. So I've given both 5 stars now, and so I'm doing great.
When you're lost and no one's there, and you wonder who even cares. Whoa. Come back to your breath, don't drift away.
pop in here and just wrap up this reading vlog. I finished The Monsters We Defy by Leslie Penelope, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's an absolute new favorite, but I think it did a lot of things really well, and it was the kind of story I like to read. So historical, fantasy, mystery, I just feel like that really worked well for me, and the writing style in this was really for me. There's like these chapters where we get our characters like backstories, but it's written like our main character Clara, for example. It will say like Clara was born on one night on a long road, and then it goes into like her backstory. And I really enjoy when you get just a chapter that's kind of like feels like a folk tale or fairy tale of a character. The mystery itself, I thought it was pretty good. I just think that the main reason the heist and everything didn't do it as much for me is I wanted there to be like a little more tension throughout, because I do feel like there would be presented a problem, and then in the next chapter a lot of times they were able to fix it. So I just wanted a little more tension because the stakes were so high. I wanted to feel the stakes being that high just a little bit more. But I did really enjoy it, and I would definitely read from this author again and pick up another mystery. And I think this is just a single book right now, but it did leave the door open that there could be more books in the series. So if it turned into a series, I would definitely continue with it. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it too if you're new to historical fantasy mystery and you want something to kind of like ease you into it. I think this one was a good one. And then I also finished Finlay, Donovan Jumps the Gun and A Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray, and both are really good. I would say I liked all three of these books. I feel like these all really speak to what I like as a reader. And this is also kind of a historical fantasy mystery, though the mystery aspect is becoming more like a typical fantasy plot than like a whodunit. And this is more of a heist whodunit scenario where they have an isolated problem. And then Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun. I just can't go wrong, truly. So I read some really good books. I ended up softy enough-ing The Spare Man, and that's okay. I will try to come back to it soon, but it just might not be the sci-fi mystery for me, and that's fine. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you're having a good week or weekend, and I will see you next time.